So, of course, what the idealist position is trying to argue is that anything that exists um, is. Anything that is already limited. It's sort of this thing that the concept of full potential and the void can't actually be materialized by its very nature. The very first step, which is sort of instantaneous, the full potential can't sort of exist for a while and then suddenly materialize. Like the typical way that myths usually explain this, like in the beginning there was nothing, and then the world was created. This first thing about in the beginning there was nothing, in my opinion, can't actually exist. There can't be a state in which there was nothing. There was something constantly. This beginning is almost like something that is behind, metaphorically behind, what is being materialized. It's like the backbone. The void, or the full potential, is the backbone of what is limited down, chiseled down from the potential. So that if we argue that anything that is limited down from the potential is filtered through mind, then mind enters the picture from the very beginning. It enters the picture from the very first limit down from infinite. So that you could almost say that it's not that there's a world where there's no consciousness and then suddenly consciousness arises, but that consciousness is there all the time. Again, that doesn't mean that there is some sort of a God or anything like that. Again, it doesn't deny that either. But it's more that, as I said in the beginning, I think there is not such a difference between materialism and idealism. Because once you get to this point of saying, well, everything is mind, then you can just as easily say everything is matter, right? I mean, if everything is mind, then there is nothing to separate from mind. If you say everything is mind, then there is no opposite to mind. Therefore, mind itself can't define itself as being the opposite of something. So you could just as equally say everything is matter. My mind is matter. My consciousness is matter. So it's more, at least the way I perceive it, it's more a situation of that the separation, for example, between mental life and physical life is not a fundamental one. It is definitely a difference. There is definitely a difference between what we call mental activity, dreaming, imagining, and what we call physical activity, walking down the street, right? There's definitely a difference, but that difference is not fundamental. There is no sort of split between the two. And because of that, there is no immateriality to objects in the idealist position. There is no need to say that things are all just, the idealist position says that objects are all just hazy and that they could all just sort of vanish at any point. No, it's sort of simply redefining what is already the traditional position. That is to say that such things as order, structure, like molecular structure, sort of the way solid materials separate themselves from non-solid material. All of these things that are sort of hard and stable are in the nature of mind. That the way we culturally perceive it as being all hazy and dreamy is just that, a cultural perception. That the qualities of hardness and structure can also be applied to idealism.